What if I told you that one family controls more wealth than entire nations? A fortune so massive, it doesn't just buy palaces and private jets. It shapes global politics, oil markets, and even luxury brands. Meet the House of Saud, the royal family of Saudi Arabia. And trust me, Prince Salman's family is richer than you think. When we say Prince Salman, most people jump straight to crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, better known as MBS. He's young, ambitious, and the face of modern Saudi Arabia. But here's something most people don't realize. The Saudi royal family isn't just one man. The House of Saud is huge. We're talking around 15,000 members, though only a few thousand hold royal titles. All of them are descendants of King Abdulaziz ibn Saud, who founded the modern kingdom in 1932. That means MBS isn't just one prince among a handful. He's part of a sprawling dynasty that runs deep into every corner of Saudi society. And this family isn't just politically powerful. They are, by many accounts, the richest royal family in the world. When people talk about royal wealth, they often compare them to the British monarchy. But King Charles and his family are worth around $28 billion. That's nothing compared to House of Saud, which dwarfs them many times over SO when we say Prince Salman's family. We're not just talking about a small inner circle. We're talking about a dynasty so wealthy and influential. They've essentially built a financial empire that touches oil markets, real estate, tech companies, and global politics. To understand the Saudis' wealth, you have to go back to the early 20th century. Before oil, Saudi Arabia was a poor desert kingdom relying mostly on pilgrimage revenues from Mecca and Medina. Everything changed in 1938, when American prospectors discovered massive oil reserves in Dhahran. This was the birth of Saudi Aramco, originally a joint venture with U.S. companies. Fast forward to today, and Aramco is the single most profitable company in the world. In 2022 alone, it made over $160 billion in net income, more than Apple and Google combined. And unlike other oil-rich states where the wealth is spread out, in Saudi Arabia, much of it flows directly into royal control. The family doesn't just sit back and collect. It's embedded into the kingdom's political system. Aramco may be a state-owned company on paper, but the state itself is run by the royal family. This means the House of Saud doesn't just control oil. It controls the lifeblood of the global economy. Because when Saudi Arabia decides to pump more oil or cut back production, the ripple effect is felt everywhere, from gas prices in the U.S. to manufacturing costs in Asia. Here's where numbers stop making sense. Analysts estimate the royal family's collective wealth at $1.4 trillion. That's not personal wealth like Elon Musk's or Jeff Bezos' stocks. It's family wealth, spread across thousands of royals, sovereign funds, hidden investments, and assets worldwide. But let's put $1.4 trillion into perspective. If you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you almost 3,800 years to burn through it. It's larger than the GDP of countries like South Korea, Australia, or Spain. And it's more than 40 times the fortune of King Charles III's family in the UK. What makes it tricky is that the Saudi royals don't show up on rich lists like Forbes. Their money is tied into sovereign wealth funds, luxury assets, land holdings, and shares in companies you probably use every day. They're not tweeting about stock trades or flashing Forbes covers. They operate quietly, behind the scenes, with wealth that's basically invisible to outsiders. That's why many experts believe $1.4 trillion might even be an underestimate. The true number could be much higher. So, what do you do when your family's wealth is practically infinite? You live large, very large. The Saudi royals own dozens of palaces inside the kingdom and abroad. In Riyadh alone, there's the Al Yamama Palace, a sprawling compound that serves as both a royal residence and a seat of government. Abroad, members of the family own luxury estates in Paris, London, and Spain's Costa del Sol. Transportation? Forget Lamborghinis, though they have plenty. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal famously ordered a customized Airbus A380, the world's largest passenger plane, and turned it into a private flying palace. Inside, prayer rooms, marble floors, even a parking space for his Rolls-Royce. They also own some of the world's biggest yachts, including the $500 million Serene, once leased Bill Gates for a summer vacation. And when it comes to shopping, reports say royals have spent millions in a single afternoon on watches, handbags, and jewelry. The art world isn't safe either. In 2017, a Saudi prince paid $450 million for Leonardo da Vinci's Solvitor Mundi, making it the most expensive painting ever sold. For the House of Saud, money isn't just for luxury. It's for collecting history itself. Here's the thing. The Saudis' fortune isn't just about palaces and jets. It's about global influence. Through the Public Investment Fund, PIF, the royals control one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, worth over $700 billion. This fund has investments in companies like Uber, Disney, and Boeing. They back the electric car maker Lucid Motors. They even own stakes in U.S. sports teams and global real estate projects. The PIF also bankrolls Vision 2030, MBS's ambitious plan to diversify Saudi Arabia's economy. This includes mega projects like Neom, a futuristic $500 billion city being built in the desert, with plans for flying taxis, AI-powered everything, and even an indoor ski resort. And let's not forget sports. The Saudis disrupted global golf with the launch of LIV Golf, throwing billions to lure top athletes away from the PGA. They've also poured money into soccer, signing big-name stars to play in the Saudi Pro League. This wealth translates into serious geopolitical clout. When Saudi Arabia speaks in OPEC meetings, oil prices shift worldwide. When they invest billions in Western tech, industries move. And when royals buy luxury real estate in London or Paris, property markets skyrocket. In short, the Saudi royals don't just spend their wealth, they use it to shape the future. So yes, Prince Salman's family isn't just rich. They're beyond rich. Their $1.4 trillion empire gives them influence over oil, politics, and even global culture. And while you may never step foot in one of their palaces or board a gold-plated jet, every time you pump gas, use plastic, or scroll on social media, you're feeling the ripple effects of their fortune. So the next time someone asks who the richest family in the world is, remember, the Saudi royals aren't just on a list, they are the list. And that's the story. Prince Salman's family isn't just rich. They're operating on a scale most of us can't even imagine. From trillion-dollar oil companies to palaces that make castles look small, to investments that quietly shape the apps we use and the sports we watch. This is a dynasty that plays by its own rules. What makes it fascinating is that their wealth isn't just about luxury. It's about power. Every barrel of oil, every billion invested, every mega project built in the desert. It all feeds into a global machine of influence. So the next time you hear about the richest people in the world, remember, there's a family whose fortune puts them all in the shadows. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments, what would you do if you had access to $1.4 trillion?